All right. So great to see everybody. This is our May Live channeled event. Delighted to see all of you here. It's kind of a gray, not so great day here, so it's lovely to spend this time with you and to put a little sunshine into the day. We're going to begin with a little blessing from Metatron. I had a few minutes this morning just to ask if there was any input that I should share with you, and I got this little blessing, which is just so lovely. So what I'd like you all to do is just take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. Just allow the light of divine to flow into your body. And the way I saw it this morning, it sprinkled down upon me like the spring rain. It was rejuvenating, renewing, just as spring is for all of us. Just quite lovely. And allow that to just go through your entire body and fill every nook and cranny with divine light and love. This divine light is nourishing your roots to make your body strong and resilient. It's bringing love and light to bless and keep you. And thus, so nourished, you are prepared to spread your wings, seek out higher realms, explore. Oh, explore, for there is much yet to be discovered. Revel in the experience, for it is exciting and profound, deep and wide. Do not fear, my child, for you are up to the challenge. It is why you came to the planet, to experience the heady rush of expansion. Breathe, relax. Allow yourself to expand into the wholeness of who you are and who you are yet meant to be. You are perfect today, and tomorrow you will be more perfect still. Amen. So anyone who wants to ask a question, you can raise your hand. If you are on a screen, at the bottom of the screen, you should see a little panel where you can click to raise your hand. Is everybody seeing that? Okay, awesome. I'm seeing some hands go up. Perfect, perfect. So the way this works for those of you who are new, I will just ask you for questions and you raise your hand. If you're on the phone and you're not able to do that, I think a *6 will raise your hand, so try that. And last resort, you can always type your question into the chat, and I'll try to keep up with that as well. So either one will work. All right, we're going to begin with Daniel. He's got his hand up first. Daniel, you've been here for over an hour waiting for us to start, I believe. Let's unmute you. There you go. So Daniel, what is your question? I'm not hearing you. Are you maybe your volume turned down or muted or something? I see your lips moving. Okay, tell you what, Daniel, if you click on the chat in the bottom, you checked it earlier? Yeah. Well, if it's not working, it's okay. Just you can chat or you can type your question for me in the chat. That'll work. And then you can just give me signs to let me know if what's coming through is good. All right. So while you're typing your question, let me go to Rebecca, and I'll come right back to you, Daniel. Rebecca, you can unmute.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Yes, I hate my picture. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's beautiful.
My question is what do my guides have to tell me about my housing situation? Things are not good.
Okay. So Rebecca, about your housing situation. Well, I'm seeing big flourish of green, spring green, which of course is that renewal and rejuvenation. And so that is a sign to you to go into your heart chakra, center yourself, ground yourself. Trust that the answers are there waiting for you, but you're just not seeing them. So we'll see what else they have to expand upon that, because that's not very satisfactory. Yeah, they're showing me there's this big block. It's like you're hitting a brick wall, and it's very frustrating. And so what happens is you get pulled down into, it's like going down the drain. That right? I'm seeing that you're like being flushed down the drain. And it's scary and frustrating, and you don't know what to do. But what happens is you get caught up in that energy, right, of going down the drain. And then because you're afraid, you can't relax, and you can't see that they're trying to bring you solutions to your problem. Now, they're saying that it's not going to look like what you think it's going to look like. And do not hesitate to reach out and ask people to help you. Don't let pride get in your way. Because here's the thing. If it were your friend coming to you saying, I'm in crisis and I really need your help, you would probably jump to help them, right?
Yeah, very much so.
So don't deny your friends the blessing of being able to help you. Family, whoever. If you're in that situation where it looks like you have no other choice, then let your pride go. Open your heart chakra, look around, and ask for help, because it's there. You see, you're like that drowning person, and you're flailing, and you're pushing away all the help that's been coming to you because you're in such a panic you can't see it. Does that make sense?
Not really, because I've asked everybody I know for help, and I've even tried government loans and everything, and I can't get out of the situation.
Okay. So there's still something that's there, because there's always another option. You're just not seeing it. So let me just ask them for clarification. I'm seeing like this bright shining star that just sparks out in front of you. It's like your guiding star. So look up. Look up and watch for the star. Have you spent time in meditation asking for help?
Yes.
Because that's what I'm feeling, that you need to go internal, because the answer is there. And are you willing to go to another location?
That's the biggest problem, is I can't really leave my family here.
Okay, so that's your block. You're saying I can't. No, divine says look for the I can. That's what's holding you back. That's your block. So if you put that aside, would there be an answer for you making a different choice?
Don't think so.
Okay.
Because there's really nowhere I can go.
Well, there's nowhere that you see you can go at the moment. But if you take away the restrictions of the I can't and allow yourself to open up to the possibility that perhaps there is something else waiting for you in another location. Because if all doors are closed where you're currently at, then it does you no good to run around banging your head on the wall. It's just going to give you a concussion and make you dizzy, right? So then you need to look outside of that box. That's why you want to look up. There's no lid on this box, right? You can crawl out anytime you want. And on the other side are your answers waiting for you. You can't see them while you're banging your head against these walls.
Makes no sense to me, because it's not anything I can control. Situations out of my control.
Okay. Well, let me tell you a story that will perhaps help. In my past life, I was married to an abusive man, and I thought I had no choice but to stay with him. It was a different time. I didn't have all the options we have now. So I stayed, and he killed me. Now, in this lifetime, from this perspective, I can see that I did have choices. I could have simply walked out the door. There would have been somebody to help me. My guides would have brought somebody to help me. I was never alone. I was not abandoned, but I couldn't see that. And I know you're feeling that now. You're feeling like there is just no choice here. But I'm telling you, Rebecca, universal truth, there is always another choice. You have to open your eyes, see it, choose it, and take action. Now, action is really important. So in this place of feeling like you have no choices, you've shut down the action as well. Look for tiny little things that you can do. Start the energy moving, because right now it's stuck. You need to get it moving in small little incremental ways, and then it will pick up momentum, right? That's what they want you to do right now. Focus on what tiny little things you can do differently. Don't do the same thing you've been doing. That's not working. It's something new. But you have to choose it. They won't choose it for you. They will only show you options. So I'm going to let you soak on that for a bit, Rebecca. And if there's time, we'll come back around, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I'll mute you. And Daniel, did you type your question for me? Okay. What can you do to allow your higher and lower to stay connected, as well as hearing the help that is around you? You move to be near a woman, and yet you clash over trivial things. Are there outside influences trying to keep you from shifting? Okay, let me try to absorb all of that. That's a lot. So there's always outside forces that will interfere if you allow them to. But if you stay with clarity of purpose, just don't allow them to, right? You get to choose whether they impact you or not. It's like this person who's jumping up and down, tormenting you. You can stay there and take it, or you can say, no, I'm not going to play with this darkness. I'm going to walk away and I'm going to find a new group of friends to play with, right? So it's all about the choices that you make. Now, the woman that you're clashing with, everybody has that in relationships. What I can tell you that helps tremendously in relationships is when you tap into your gifts and you meet your soul and you understand more deeply who you are, because that gives you an expanded vision of each other. For couples, this is like the best thing you can do for each other, because all of a sudden you're more understanding of the other person, because now you know why they are doing what they're doing. It's the way they're wired, right? And even if you don't get to that place of that understanding, if you can take that perspective that she and you are not doing these things deliberately to torment each other, you're doing them because you are wired a specific way and you have specific viewpoints. And if you can come to a place of understanding, it's not personal, right? It's the way you're wired. So how can you accept it?
Mhm.
I think I heard your voice, Daniel.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so talk to me.
Well, well, thank you first of all. Um, and yeah, both Natasha and I are very like I have taught Tai Chi. I've been meditating for 100 years, and and the reasons that we came together were very like-minded with um, spiritual growth and wanting to um, continue, but have each other's back in a sense, and then to see that not only are we not progressing, but well, she recently had an operation, and I basically had the shoulder, everything, taking care of her, the dog, the house, the kids, yada yada. And at the end of it, I'm exhausted, but it's okay. I was able to do it. I I'm dyslexic, so I'm really struggling to learn Dutch. I'm really struggling, but I'm a published writer, so I know that even though as a child I was suicidal because I couldn't read, I couldn't progress like the other kids did. But I'm of course going through this trauma again. But I know that if I stay persistent, if I do things that encourage me, like I'm coaching baseball, and I'm loving it. I'm out on the field and I'm interacting, and it's physical, and it's something I very much needed, because I do spend too much time at the computer writing, or just alienating myself with things that, though have their use, are maybe what's best for me at this time period. But it's only within a reflection that we see these, of course. But I don't get why you know having Tourette's can cause a lot of issues, and learning to live with someone that has that. And like you're saying with the wiring, being incredibly, I like to joke that, you know, only a saint could, live through this, and by the time, I get through, I will be one. And it's just my, being silly with it. But um, seeing how dedicated, but not like I asked for help to get to the baseball field 2 days ago, and it became this huge fight. And I don't get why it's continued. It's years gone by now, and we should have, she's so far beyond this on a spiritual path, but yet, and I easily get duped in, like she says something that triggers me, and and I do these, mannerisms, and then like, why did I feed into it? So I sometimes wonder if it's just our wiring, or is there something, not necessarily benevolent or malevolent, but something floating around here that I'm not aware of, that is at these moments feeding off of it. And if I know that it's just her and I, then I can deal with it on one level. If there's her, I, and something else, then yeah, I want to ask for help, because I am not keenly aware yet. I'm still getting glimpses, but I'm not, I'm on shifting sand so often, metaphorically and literally, in a sense of, if we break up and we get into a fight, I have to move back to America. So that's a whole different, chaotic, how do I, I've 3 bags, that's my entire life. You accumulate, whether you like to or not, all these years and years, and all of a sudden it's these 3 bags, and that's all you get to take. And what do you do with the rest? Where does it go? So you have these little, tucked away areas, not of the, just literally of things at your mother's, side bedroom, but these things that you don't want to lose because they're part of who you are.
Yeah, so you're bringing all of this stuff onto yourself that's actually cluttering the issue. So put all that away. Don't worry about all the what ifs. Focus on the what is, right? Okay. So let me just first ask if there is some entity or some karmic thing that's going on there about your relationship. And what is your girlfriend's name?
Natasha.
Natasha, thank you. No, I'm not getting an entity. Let's see if there's anything else. No, that feels pretty clear. Let's see if there's something karmic. Yeah, so you definitely have past lives together. So there is that soul connection. You came together to resolve something. But what I'm getting is, so you came together to resolve something, but it didn't mean it had to be forever. It's for as long as it serves both of you. And if you've grown to a place where it's not serving you, then do feel free to make other choices. Because here's the thing, if you stay in this space of obligation because, oh, well, I can't move back because of all of these other things, and I committed to her because of all these things, all of those things that play out in your head, all those stories that you tell yourself, that becomes an obligation. And then you create this feeling of stuckness for yourself. And it just grinds you deeper into the muck, and then you have fewer choices. The deeper you go, the fewer choices, right? Because you get less light. You're going down and down. So what small choices can you make that are different in the moment that would have a positive impact on the relationship? And for yourself, how long and how far are you willing to go? You have to know this, right? And it's something you'll come to over time. But if you stay in a place of you're obligated, I must, I have to, I should, all of those things, you're creating more of the karma of the same. And it will continue that pattern until you step out of it and say, no, I'm not going down that path anymore. I'm going to choose a different path that has more light on it, that I feel better about. Because it all comes back to what feels best, what serves Daniel. Stop worrying so much about what serves Natasha. Get right with Daniel. Get yourself in a space where you come from peace and harmony, right? And joy. And then you can share that with others. But if you don't have it yourself, you certainly can't help others to get it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So there's been not enough focus on what Daniel needs, way too much focus on what Natasha needs. And she's not a child. Allow her to be responsible for herself. Let her step up to the plate. Is that helpful?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So try that and, let me know how that goes, all right?
Muchas gracias.
Elena.
Yeah.
Elena, how are you today? What's going, oh, you're muted again.
Hold on. No, I'm not.
There you go. Great to see you. New space.
Yeah. Okay. I still have questions because it just annoys me that as intuitive as I am, I still can't get answers for myself sometimes, and it just annoys the crap out of me. So anyway, what I'm trying to find out is how much longer is this financial crisis going to last? Because it just, no matter what I seem to do, I keep digging myself deeper into the red in my bank accounts. Now, Spirit is watching out for me because they're allowing the rent payments to go through, even though my bank is in the red. So when I get paid, it eats up most of the red, but I'm still in the red. And then it's rent time again. So it's like, and at the same time, the other question is, what do I need to do differently to get clients to start calling again, to get my jewelry and bags and stuff to start client? I mean, I had one that was supposedly wanted a reading Thursday, and I met with her. She had flown in from California. I met with her. I talked to her for like an hour and a half. And she goes, well, now if she asked a couple questions because she wanted to test me to see if I was really as good as she had been told I was. And at the very end, she goes, oh, you're just as good, if not better. So now if I want something in the future, then I know I can call and actually pay for it. So there's something screwy going on financially, and I'm not quite, and of course I'm going up to Sedona tomorrow for our convention, and I have to go because I'm speaking at it, and yet it's like, okay, gas money, well, a friend is coming through with some of the gas money to get up there, but again, there's no place for me to stay, so I would probably have to drive back down here to Phoenix every night, which eats up even more gas. It's just like a never-ending cycle financially, and I need help on figuring out what do I need to do differently or what I need to clear to get this to turn around.
Yeah, so the first thing that jumps out at me there is you're already stating that you have to come back because you don't have the gas money. Spirit has come through for you over and over and over. Why can't you manifest that once you get there, a way will be made for you to stay? So pack your bag and make sure you're ready to stay. Don't plan.
Oh, I plan on.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I plan. I'm taking my clothes with me.
Awesome. And so as the frustration about not being able to see for yourself when you are so gifted at seeing for other people, we all have that because we lack the objectivity about ourselves. It's always a struggle. It will get easier over time. I have found that to be true. But even so, it's still an extra challenge because you have all of the knowledge of the rest of the picture that wants to come in and interfere. And just like the whole thing about, I don't have the money, I'm going to have to come back, right? That ego jumps in there and gets in your way. So it's about clearing away the ego and saying, listen, I really appreciate your input, but it's not helpful right now. I'm talking to soul. Soul's talking to spirit. We got this covered. And then you're going to make your plan. So the pattern that I'm seeing repeated is that you start making movement forward and then you get scared and then you grab on for dear life because you're afraid you're going to sink. And you're not sinking. Spirit and your angels are holding you up all the time. So you keep making the choice to go back to that one constant source of money, instead of being out there allowing people to see you and to meet you. Because you do it online, but you can't do it all. Are you hearing that noise? Is that coming from your place?
No, but all of a sudden your lips were moving and there was no voice coming out.
Okay. It's weird because I was hearing that sound like I heard on your one of your previous videos, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, do you have that going on again? Let me just mute
You never know.
Yeah, I'll mute everybody and then I'll unmute you. Okay. Yeah, I think it's coming from there, Elena. It's very peculiar, but we're just gonna go with it. So yeah, let's see what your guides have to say, because it's exciting what you're going to be doing. It's tomorrow that you're going to speak?
No, I'm actually speaking on Tuesday afternoon, but tomorrow is the celebration dinner and entertainment, and then the convention actually starts on Monday.
Okay, awesome. So while you're there, do you have business cards? Because you're going to be meeting a lot of people.
Oh, I have like a whole brand new thing of 500 that I'm taking with me.
Good, you're set. So let's go back to the story about the lady that you spent the hour and a half with. So what my takeaway for you on that is that you gave her an hour and a half of your time. So you disrespected yourself. You didn't value the service that you were bringing, and you allowed her to put on you that judgment of, prove to me that you're good. You don't have to prove anything to anybody, Elena. You are more than good enough, right? She is not your client if she's going to play those games with you. So it's either you want my help and you will pay me fair exchange of energy, or you will go find it elsewhere. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Well, she didn't tell me that she was doing it as a test until after, because she was talking a lot about her dead mother and how she helped, save her from cancer and blah blah blah. So she was doing just a lot of talking, and I was listening. So she didn't really get a lot of information out of me. But at the very end, when she said, well, I like to test the people that I work with, I was like, yeah, that's one of the things even when I worked in spiritual stores or psychic stores, that's the one thing that just annoyed the crap out of me, that somebody would sit across from the table from you and they want a half-hour reading, but the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, well, I want to test you first.
Mm-hmm.
In a store, they have to pay the minute they sit down.
Yeah.
So we get our money. But when they do it to you outside, it's harder to say, well, hey, the owner is standing right there and you're going to have to pay her one way or another, whether you get an answer or not,
So you can do that for yourself, right? You don't have to give somebody an hour and a half. 10 minutes is enough. 10 minutes. Do you want to have a reading or not? If you do, then you pay me and we do your reading, right? Just like the store does, get the money up front. She's just playing games with you. And there are lots of people who will do that kind of crap. And what I would say perhaps might be helpful, use your intuition before you even meet with these people, and make sure that there's somebody you want to work with, that they're not some dark person who's just coming to rain on your parade and steal your time.
Well, I met with her because she's a very good friend of a very good friend of mine, and she was flying in just for that day for a meeting here with a client of hers. And it was so synchronistic at the time because I had put it out there that I needed help with gas money to get to Sedona and a place to stay. And then my friend called and said, oh, I have a very good friend who's flying in. She wants to meet with you and have a reading tomorrow. And it just so happened that she was like 3 blocks away from where I'm working. I mean, it was just like everything lined up that it looked, wow, this is going to be great. And then she pulled that. It just kind of sunk my energy a little bit.
Yeah, that's deflating. All right, so let's see what I can get for you. What I feel spinning, and it's like, you know, 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 and it's it makes me a little nauseous, actually, because it's like you're spinning and spinning and spinning. So of course you don't have any clarity because your eyes are too busy doing this, trying to keep up with your body spinning, right? That's what it's like. And so it's like, oh my God, Elena, sit down, stop spinning. Just take some breaths and relax into it, because all of that fear and anxiety and dis-ease that's going on is keeping you in that chaos where you declare what you're speaking. And yet it's right there. You can reach for it. You can stop spinning anytime you choose to. Right. This spinning is an old pattern. It's deeply ingrained. And I feel like it's karmic because it's very deeply rooted. So that's something you can work on that. Go into it, find out what is the source of this spinning thing and get it out of there. Because it's like it's morphing into like a cyclone, and I'm seeing the tail spinning, and it's very, very deeply rooted like trees. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like the bottom is spinning, 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 and the top is like bobbling all around, just trying to stay upright because of all of this chaos and this spinning. And so it's a matter of releasing that and reaching for your peace, because it's there. It was always there. It's a matter of consciously releasing that spinning chaos thing and stepping into the peace. Because then you get the clarity, then you see the answers, and you know they're always there. You have got story after story after story where you have manifested what you needed, but always at the last minute by the skin of your teeth. And it doesn't have to be that way. That's that spinning thing. So when you let go of that and you move into the more peaceful place, you will find that those breadcrumbs come sooner, and they will be there before you need them, so that when you're ready, you just pick them up and you make use of them, rather than always being in that place of lack and feeling it, which is causing that whole chaos spinning thing, which I can still feel in my stomach. Oh my gosh, whoa. You gotta let that go, because that is bad juju.
Yeah. And I can really feel it physically at this assignment that I'm on. I'll go to stand in one place and I can feel my whole body is just going like this.
Okay.
And it's like, whoa, like stop the tornado and let me out of here.
So what action are you taking to get out of there as soon as possible?
What, out of work?
The place that's causing that feeling, because why would you stay there if it feels that way?
Because I get paid to be there?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's your only option. Why? See, here's a choice you're making. You're saying, I got to stay there. It's my only option. No, it's not.
Oh, no, I know it's not my only option. That's why I was asking what the issue is with pulling in clients and my stuff selling, because that is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I know that. But for some reason, it just, literally stopped dead. And everything I try, or other, I get hits from spirit on what, do this or try this, or maybe this will work. I do it and still nothing happens. So that's why I'm holding on to the other job, because I do like a roof over my head. So
while you're there, look for another position. If you're getting all those signals that this is bad juju for you, that's going to infect all of your life, right? That's going to push the clients away, because they're going to feel that energy too. So only stay there as long as you have to, right? Be active, take action to get out of there. Because when you do take that action, you're going to get the energy moving. More opportunities are going to come to you. So you're feeling like this trapped feeling, like, trapped like a rat. You got to stay there because you have to have a roof over your head. And of course you have to have a roof over your head, but while you're there, start looking for something else. Are you taking medicine bags with you to this conference?
yes, I'm taking my medicine bags, chokers, jewelry, and the smudge fans.
Awesome.
And the two books that I was in with Unscripted.
Awesome. So we're all going to set the intention together with you right now. You're going to sell all of that while you're there. You're not going to bring anything home.
I put that out there yesterday, and I actually saw myself selling a whole bunch of it, and I also saw myself hooking up with somebody that was associated with some metaphysical store somewhere, and they bought a lot of them to put in their store to sell.
You're going to come home with a list, right, of people who ordered them.
Yep, that was in my, yeah, I got that too.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay. So anything else? Is that helpful?
Nope. It is. I'll work on. I really do need to work on that cyclone energy.
If I'm feeling it that strongly, then I can't imagine what it must be doing to you.
It knocks me. It wears me out so much that when I get home, I can't. I usually try to stay up until 10. I don't even half the time make it because I'm just out like a light. It's just wears out my energy.
Right. So therefore, you don't have it to put into building your business. That's why you have to take every step you can to get out of there as soon as possible.
Okay.
Because it's a real cause and effect thing. I mean, it's a great example. Even though it feels bad, it's a great example for you. Like in your face. Do you see it now? Kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to leave because I got things to do to get ready for tomorrow. So I'm going to have to leave for now, and I'll listen to the rest later.
Awesome. Thanks for coming, and good luck. Can't wait to hear all about it.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, Lorraine. I unmuted you. Where are you? Are you still here? Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Now I see you. Great
Hi.
to see you here. I love that wall and purple hair.
Thank you. Yeah, well, it's early here. It was 8 o'clock when you started my time.
Gosh.
So
Okay.
I'm still Saturday morning. I'm a little chill.
That's good.
So, yeah. So it's my first time here being with you in this capacity. And I'm excited to learn more about my Akashic records. I know that's kind of a deep subject, but I just thought maybe if you can tune into who my guides are to help me on the business side of what I do.
Okay. Is there something specific you want to ask, or just a general business thing?
Well, it's, am I doing the right thing at this time? Am I doing these online courses? Is this something I should keep doing?
Okay. Well, the first thing is there's no should. And
of course, yes. I talk about the shitty should. So yeah.
Of course, yes. So what you're doing now, does it feed your soul? Does it really light you up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
So that answer is yes, of course, because you're always looking for what feeds your soul. When you're doing that, it brings you into energetic alignment, and that means that you can get the fullness from divine, because it's like your vessel is fully open, right? And you're being filled, and that's your intention. But when you get out of alignment, then it's like you're this cockeyed thing, and so, you know, divine energy is pouring down and spilling all over the place, and you're filled, which means you don't have as much to give to others. So yeah, that's what you're always looking for. But let's just see what they have to say, because I'm getting this feeling that what you're doing is good for now, but there's more. This is not all. There's another step you're waiting to take. Maybe you're hesitating, but I'm feeling there's a next, an expansion. Because remember, we're all evolving as souls. And so what we do today that feeds our soul may not next week. And as soon as that changes, then we need to be shifting and expanding into whatever that next thing is. I'm seeing you on a stage with sparkling lights and tap shoes.
Well, that must have been a past life, because there's no way. It must be metaphoric.
Yes, it's the energy of it. This is what your soul wants to do. Your soul wants to just get out there and be expansive and feel that joy. And making that tap shoes, because you're making a difference, right? You're making an impact. So that's what the tap shoes is about. And the sparkling lights, that's to beckon your tribe. So here you are, and you're this beautiful soul, and you're tapping to let them know you're here, and you're sparkling to attract them, and it's beautiful. So that's validation that, yeah, you are definitely on the right track, lady, and just do more of the same and bring more joy into it, because joy is a huge element there, right, of being there.
Yes.
And oh, and the stage, Lorraine, it's a big stage. So this is about you
Right.
moving bigger, right? Not being confined to a small space.
Okay.
This is expansiveness for you.
That scares the heck out of me.
One step at a time.
Hmm.
That's the thing. But it's like, it's there for you if you want it. You can expand into it, but you don't have to rush into it, right? It's a building block approach. You are now building this beautiful foundation that will support you. So you will be able to go out and make a bigger impact. Because your light is just too bright to keep it contained. There's more to be shared.
So thank you. I like that. Is there a specific guide that I can talk to in moments where I feel that I'm going small again? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You can talk to Metatron, who's the overseer of the Akashic Records. So that's always an option. Your guides, as far as names, I'll ask them, but usually they say, call us whatever you want, because names don't
Yeah.
matter to them, right? We are the ones who put
Yeah.
importance on names, but
Just to try to be specific to talk to somebody. So
yeah, I'll just see if anything comes up as far as a name.
thank you.
I'm getting glug.
Glug. Maybe it's an acronym.
No, I think it's about being silly. It's
Okay, well, I got that down.
lighten up, Ray. Glug, glug.
Maybe I'm supposed to drink wine. I don't know.
Oh, maybe on that. But yeah, it's just being silly. That's the energy that's coming through. It's a very light silliness, and it's, come on, more joy and sunshine and celebrating, and less worry, right? Because
Okay.
that energy of worrying about, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And the answer is always, if it feels good, if it feeds your soul, then yeah, keep doing it. It's really super simple. We try to overcomplicate it.
Right. No, that's awesome.
Most of us feel like we're on assignment. We have something specific that God wants us to do. And no, God says, come here, have a great time, and expand your consciousness.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
That's
welcome.
awesome.
Okay, cool. All right, Beth. You just disappeared. There you are. I'm trying to unmute you. Maybe you have to unmute yourself, Beth. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Beth, can you?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
You are awesome. Okay, cool.
You took me by surprise there.
Sorry.
That's okay. So I guess my question is, I have a business. And last year was like the best year that I had, and this year I've literally had nothing. I have one event in 2 weeks, and that's it. And so it's like, what is something that I can do to get it restarted?
What is your business?
I am one of only 9 certified lipsologists in the entire world. So I can read a person's lip prints and tell about personality, preferences, health, energy, stress, all from the lip print. And I do like bachelorette parties, birthday parties, corporate events. Most of my business is corporate events.
And so how have you gotten that in the past? How have you booked your
Just from being listed on Google. I have a Facebook page. I have a Instagram page. And people have found me in the past.
Hmm. So you really haven't done much active marketing. It's all online.
Yeah, basically. And in the past, I was on one entertainment website, which like just wasn't making sense economically
Mhm.
because it just wasn't, the price of the membership was more than I was getting in terms of gigs from the website.
Okay. So what I'm feeling is this is a big thing about visibility. So once you were out there and you were getting all these gigs, how were you feeling? Was it feeding your soul? Were you having a good time?
Absolutely.
Okay. So it's not like you had fears about being seen.
No, not at all.
Okay. So if it's not your issue with visibility, then it's coming from the other direction. So let's see what that's about. Is there somebody in your field who you are getting negative energy from that you perceive as being jealous of you?
Not that I can think of.
Because I'm feeling like this blast, like a blast of hot air will come in. It's like a blast of bitterness and jealousy.
Really?
And that needs to be cleared.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's impacting the visibility. It's like putting a cloud around you, putting you in the fog. So you're less visible. And that's why all of a sudden when you were doing so well and then it started drying up. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
So let me ask a little more about this.
Sure.
Okay, so it's not one of the 9 people that you're competing with. I got a definite no on that.
Oh, really? Interesting.
It's something else. Okay, so this is somebody you have casually come in contact with, and it's a past life connection. So when you came in contact with them and they saw your energy and how you were thriving, that triggered the old karmic pattern for them, which then unconsciously for them, because they're not really consciously aware of what they're doing, when these patterns get triggered karmically, it just kind of comes almost without our understanding or even willingly doing it. It's just, it happens. It's almost like it's out of our control, and it can be really dark and nasty. So I would urge you, if you smudge, do that, make up your own clearing ceremony and just intend it to lift that cloud from you, because it's definitely there, and sever that energetic connection. Because what happens is when this gets triggered, it creates like a cord between the two of you, and then it's feeding off of both of you. So it's a dark energy.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's just figuring out something that will sever that.
Yeah. And if you need help with that, just, shoot me an email.
Okay.
I can help you write something.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. The next one says iPad. Who's iPad? It's 707 are the last 3 numbers. You're unmuted. Go ahead. I hear you. Oops, you went away. Try and unmute yourself again. I think we did it at the same time. There you go.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi.
This is Nyambura. How are you?
Laura, how are you? Great to hear from you.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
That's right. Yeah. Now, my question just is about my business. And on a good news, I had my first stage event for 10 minutes. I was called at the last minute. They had my bio, they had everything, and I did good. So that's a good thing there. My website is on the process, but I think she's taking too long because this is the 4th week. So she has pieces and pieces. I had photographs done. So I'm not worried about that anymore. My other thing is, it's been getting hard now financially. I did try to apply for unemployment, but my boss blocked it. Yes. And I got the final confirmation yesterday from the labor. But one of my colleagues who has known me for a long time told me, Nyambura, you need to get out everything that used to happen to you in the past so that you can get paid. And for sure, I do have. As I pulled my bag, I found all these notes that I would write to my boss, my senior boss, to let him know what I need done. But I know he's the one blocking me for the money. Because that will help me the next 6 months to situate myself while I keep my PRN job.
Yes.
And we agreed to meet on Monday. On the other side, when I called the Department of Labor, one lady told me, if I can, from the day that I applied, because I think I did that on the 9th or the 10th, if I can make 3,300, I can now apply and they will give it to me automatically. So I don't know which way to go. As you know, I'm a peacemaker. I avoid fighting and hustling as much as I can. That's not in my nature. I don't want my energy there fighting with Mr. Green because he's really fighting. So I need advice with that.
So the question is, do you fight or not, or is there something else there?
Yeah, do I fight or not? On the other hand, if I make 3,300, which I should, I can apply again from the to the department, and they will automatically pay me without having to use my former employer.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can decide to fight now with fight with Mr. Green and the LTC, you know, by digging all this that used to happen to me, because that does not determine my future. That's me. I don't think it sits well with me.
So is it in your highest and best interest to fight with Mr. Green? Let's start there.
No.
Yeah, that's a definite no. And so what's the other option that gets you the 3,300?
No, if I make 3,300 on my PRN job where I work, I can apply again quickly. No, I will call them. I won't reapply, but I will call them and apply again now. I think I will call them and let them know I have this, and I said them the pay stub apply, and they will pay me. They're going to put me on the program. So
you can choose to do that, right? Because I'm getting
yes.
a yes. That's definitely a yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not clear on what else you're asking, Nimbur.
So which way should I go? It's not my interest to fight with Mr. Green. Mm-hmm. He's very vicious. I'm not for that, because I will sit down and start sinking in negativity.
Right. I got a no for that. Definitely it's not in your interest to fight with him. But yes, it is a good thing to go for the 3,300. So as long as the way is clear and that's what you want to do, I'm getting a yes that would serve you.
Mm-hmm. Now, the other thing is I got 2 potential women that wanted me to work with them during that time. And I know I do a good job because I'm deep. But when one calls me, she likes to call me also all the time, like the previous person that, I had you interview, who had a problem with you. And she just likes to talk. She just wants to get stuff from me, and she doesn't want to pay. And I told her, no, now you have to book for a session.
Oh, good. This is about your boundaries, Nimbura.
Yes.
It's a test for you. Are you finally going to step up and advocate for Nimbura and set boundaries? So this is an awesome opportunity to do that.
Mm-hmm. So I said no.
Yeah, you have to. It's not in your best interest. You can't be constantly giving yourself away to people, right? Because they're stealing your time and your energy that you could have been using to further your career and your own goals.
And tapping into my wisdom.
Yeah. So this is a huge opportunity. If you can see it that way and step up to the plate and advocate for Nimbora, I think you're going to feel so much better afterwards.
I think basically that's it for now.
Yeah. Because
Hopefully
you were
I will
already
get
leaning that way. You knew that, right? You just wanted me to validate it.
Yes, I just wanted you to validate it. I haven't and also to see you too, because I haven't seen you. I don't know when I'll be able to book, because I need to have a session with you.
Okay, when you're ready, but you take care
when
of
I'm
you.
ready.
How is your
Yeah.
sister doing? Is your sister still in the hospital?
No, she left. She's home. Actually, she can now cook. She can now do a lot of things. But she was telling me, I spoke with her last week, that she's told by her children she talks too much, which I feel is all this infiltration of the energies.
Yeah.
From you, and also me seeking, because I'm a seeker also by myself, and I learn, I just read ahead from you, so I'm seeing the openings, which she's the only person who can be able to close that, but needs a lot of guidance, because not many people understand what I learned from you and what I also learned from you. But I'm very hopeful. I think this pushes me to just want to be a healer who is not afraid.
Yeah. I feel about her energy more of a clarity than she had before. It's like, you know, that fizziness that was going on in her head. That has somewhat cleared. So she's on the right track. It's really wonderful.
The other thing, can I did the 21 days. Oh my goodness, I had to do it on the calendar so that I could keep up with that. Could I still do it once in a while when I want to?
If you want
to,
no. It doesn't hurt anything. Sure, you can do it.
Okay, so because that way I can be able to.
It's all about setting your intentions, right? So yeah, and you can rewrite it to make it fit your current situation.
Okay. What else did I want? I think that's it. I'll send you an email so I can tell you what I want.
Wonderful. I look forward to it. Thank you for being here today.
Appreciate it and honor you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next hand. Daniel, I'll come back to you because I've got people who I haven't talked to yet who are waiting, but I'll definitely come back to you. So, Isla, you said you can't raise your hand and you want to know what messages your guides have for you today, and if you will move out from Wisconsin, I think it says. So let's see what they have to say for Isla.
Thank you.
Oh, there you are. Hi.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. It's a sunny day here.
Yeah, you look beautiful in the sun's rays.
Thank you.
So is it moving from Wisconsin? Is that what it meant?
Yes.
Okay.
Someday. I don't know. One day. Maybe.
Okay. So the moving from Wisconsin, that's, I don't know, Isla, will you? Do you want to? It's up to you. You get to choose, right? Because they won't tell you to move. But if you want to, and it's in your best interest, they're going to facilitate that.
Okay. Do they have any message for me?
Yeah, I'm just asking now. One of my dogs is having a dream, so that's what you're hearing in the background.
Maybe I need to have a dog.
I'm just going to mute you for a minute so I can focus a little easier. I'm feeling this fresh, clean, like, you know, when the spring rain comes and it cleans everything up and it's bright and shiny and new, and then I'm getting daisies. So look up the symbolism of daisies to see what that means, but it's feeling like hope and renewal and like a new chapter in your life. Like, are you starting something new in your life? Because that's what it feels like. You can unmute and tell me.
Okay, I mean, might be, maybe with my job.
Mm-hmm.
something new may come. Maybe my business opens up.
Yeah, it's like I'm seeing you walking down this hallway and it's very light. It's like you're shifting from a place that it was okay, but not as good as what's coming in the future. And it's like, you know, turning the page or starting a new chapter. So it's there, it's coming. And all you have to do is reach out, take new action, and you'll get there faster.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's about always looking for the thing that serves you, that makes you feel the best, that lights you up. Because every day for all of us as awakened, highly conscious souls should be joy, wonder, and delight. Because we're here, we're having this amazing experience. And yeah, there's bumps in the road, but overall, it's bliss. Because there's so much amazingness out there for each of us to experience. And if we're not, then that's the invitation to check in with our solar plexus. What's going on in our life? What options are there that don't feel good that we can discard? What are things that are coming up that are juicy and delicious that we want to move towards? And so it's always that process of evaluating and reaching for the thing that feels best, letting go of the thing that doesn't serve us anymore, because we all tend to hold on to things way longer than we should. So let's lighten our load and just set them free. You know, it's like taking out, doing your spring cleaning, getting rid of the old stuff, making space for the new, brighter, exciting possibilities. So that's all there for you and for everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's see who else is here. Mike, you got questions about topics for your books. Go ahead. Mike, are you still here? There you are, I see you.
Yeah. Yeah, I had listed them down below. I had a question whether is there a space for scripting and is there a space for horse circles in my writings?
Okay. Yeah, I get this bubbly feeling in my stomach like I just had champagne. So it's like a celebratory, happy, bubbly feeling. And it feels to me like this is needed in your writing because you've written about a lot of heavy topics. So this is an invitation to you to lighten up, to find more joy, to embrace more joy. You need more effervescence. That's what it's about.
I'm laughing just hearing it. It's true. It's true. And I'm moving in the direction of lighter.
Good.
Less text and more pictures all the time. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's what makes you feel good. I mean, that's a simple answer for everybody, but sometimes we just have to go through the details. And that's why I got that feeling of the bubbles in my stomach, because they really wanted to convey to you that feeling of effervescence.
Well, the question about scripting was, I thought about scripting. I know someone who has a program for doing that. But then when I looked at her work, there was a heaviness about it that I didn't think the cancer patients would tolerate well. So there needs to be something different. And I'm thinking there needs, not her process, but I think I probably have to develop one.
Yeah, this is the invitation to you to dance and to let the cancer patients dance with you. So you dance and then you invite them to the dance because they have enough heaviness in their lives already. You're there to shed light, to make them feel better, to uplift them.
I'm trying.
Because you know, that's when they step into healing.
Yeah.
Invite them to the healing dance. That's what it is.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
God bless your work.
Thank you. Nancy Grace, you can unmute yourself. You want to talk about your health and diverticulitis, okay? Let's see, Nancy, are you still here? I think she might have left. All right, so let's just see what they have to say for Nancy. Yeah, Nancy, what I get immediately is this is an invitation to you to dance. it's to step out and do something different than what you've been doing, because if traditional medicine isn't helping you, then look for other options, because there are a great many out there. And your body is letting you know that it's not getting what it needs. It wants something else. So it's an invitation for you to connect with your body, because it is the sacred vessel that holds your soul. And your soul wants to have this glorious life experience. So you need to take care of the vessel so that your soul can do that. So yeah, seek out alternatives, try different things. Of course, judiciously. You don't want to just go, wild willy-nilly, but there are a lot of other things out there. And I personally use a lot of alternatives. I don't do any kind of pharmaceuticals, and I don't go to doctors because they haven't helped me in the past. So I've learned to help myself. And we can all do that. And thank goodness we have the internet now, where we can research and we can find and connect with healers and all different sorts of modalities and herbs and homeopathics. And yeah, there's just a world of healing out there, but we have to go find it. For years, I battled with Meniere's disease, and there was a time where I was totally incapacitated because I would have such severe vertigo that all I could do was lie on the floor and throw up until I passed out. And it was not a life. And at that time, the only option I had was surgery. I had brain surgery, and they clipped a nerve. They couldn't fix the problem, but they could do a workaround. And guess what? It didn't last. So later on, it recurred, and I had to empower myself and find solutions. And I have found remedies, and I have found lifestyle changes that have allowed me to live a full life and not be incapacitated with the vertigo. So that same thing can be true for you, Nancy. It's advocate for yourself. Find the things that help you and that lift you up. Don't let them tell you who you are and what is true for you, because you know what? They have this really severe tunnel vision. And I have had so many doctors tell me things that I know are not true, because they've been taught one way and that's all they can see. They can't see that there's a big wide ocean out there full of other possibilities. And we are being called as awakened souls to step out there, to advocate and empower ourselves, and to find our own solutions. And we can do that. So that's all available to you. So Nancy, shoot me an email. Let me know if that was helpful and if you have other questions. Let's see. Kathleen, is there a way? Oh, how funny is this, Kathleen? You can unmute yourself. Kathleen has tinnitus that she's experienced since 1975, and it's limited her hearing. Boy, can I relate to that. Let's see.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, it's so interesting that you were referring to the doctors and the medical system, because this problem is initiated by the medical system. I was given a birth control pill, and I called the doctor and said, it's not working. She said, just double it. And of course, then that night, this pressure built up in my head, and there was a blood clot that killed a nerve, and I developed high frequency nerve deafness because of that. And shortly thereafter, I got the tinnitus, and they keep telling me there's no cure, and I just can't buy it. It's and then this last month, I mean, I've been on a lot of flights lately with a couple of kids getting married and stuff. And April 1st, I fly back from Vancouver, and my hearing is gone. And first, I went to an acupuncture specialist thinking, because I read that acupuncture could help tinnitus. And she refused to help me because I hadn't been to a doctor for 3 years. And I said, I feel like if somebody would just pull the wax out of my ears, I could hear again. She said, oh, no, it's inflammation. Just wait, it'll all go away. Well, a whole month goes by and nothing. And so I do go to the doctor for these blood tests because I want to do something with this. And she says, your ears are full of wax. So I'm doing the mineral oil, and it has limited help. And then I went for candling, and they got a lot out of there. still minimally I can hear. And then yesterday I had the doctor's appointment and she flushed and flushed and flushed, and thank goodness I can now hear, but my left ear is still screaming and I still have that limitation of the high frequency nerve deafness. So why do I have this? Is it tied to my lack of intuition? Like I think I'm clairaudient.
Okay,
Go with
let's
that.
see what they have to say about that. I'm getting that it's strictly physical. It's not a past life issue. It's what you said. It was caused by harm that was done to your body by those drugs and whatever else they did to you. So that's an invitation for you to find alternatives that will help you. And you've already done that with seeing the acupuncturist, even though it wasn't successful, but don't let that stop you. There are so many healers out there. I know this really incredibly gifted healer who does this thing that I can't even describe. It's something that she got from above. It's her special gift, and it's phenomenal how it shifts you. That's a possibility. I know this gifted homeopath that works with Indian doctors who are highly gifted at using remedies to heal cancer and all kinds of things. Yeah. Can they heal that? I don't know. Can they make it better? Probably. So these are alternatives that I personally know of. If you start researching and empowering yourself, use that intuition to find out whether it's something you want to pursue, because, you know, there's a lot of flim-flam too. So you have to, you know, be discretionary about it. But yeah, this is an invitation for you to step up into your clairaudience, because you don't have to have your ears physically working to be clairaudient. That comes into your head. And
is that the message? Is that go inside and work with the inside? Is that the message? I don't know.
Well, yeah, because if you're having a problem hearing things, sure. Because what happens for me is I'll be just minding my own business, and all of a sudden it's almost like you've got mail and something just pops into my head, right? Mm-hmm. That can happen even if your ears aren't working, because that's an inside job.
Yeah, I guess I do have a lot of trust issues too. I mean, I've experienced a lot of people who took advantage of me. So that's been a really big hurdle in my life. So it might be related to trusting what I'm getting, trusting.
Yeah, it's a search and an invitation for you to find more clarity, right? Because of the hearing thing. So okay. Can it be cured? I don't know, possibly. I know my tinnitus, sometimes it will roar and then it will quiet down, and like now it's just barely there, but I only realized it's barely there when I read your note about tinnitus. It made me think about it.
Yeah, most the more you think about it, the louder it gets.
Yeah, most of the time I'm not aware of it because I've just, you know, it's been many, many years and I don't think about it. But there are times when it flares, like the barometric pressure affects mine. And if a lot of storm systems are coming through, then I'll get what sounds like a roaring motorcycle. And I can barely hear anything because of that. But even that is less and less as I've used more natural remedies and really consciously cleaned up the diet to not get processed foods and things like that. It will help.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's absolutely lots of things you can do. This is an invitation for you to tap into your intuition. Go on that path. Examine the little stones that you see along the way and pick up the ones that are good for you and discard the rest. That's what I'm seeing. It's like a journey for you. It's part of your journey.
Thank you.
And there is on my website a meditation called Connecting with Your Guides. If you haven't done that one, do that one, because it will help you to get into that space where you can get more connection. And once you start connecting and getting messages from your guides, you're going to be less worried about getting outside input.
Yeah. Thank you.
Which will have a positive impact.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm so glad you came today, Kathleen.
Yeah, this is awesome. I didn't know about this. It's an incredible service. Thank you so much for giving that to us.
So welcome. Okay, Synthora. Oh, before Synthora, sorry. Thani Chan just says hi. Oh, here you are. You can't talk for now, but you want messages from your guides about your career. It says you feel like you're using your full potential. Oh, you're not using your full potential as a school nurse. Okay, so let's see what that's about. Yeah, I get this feeling of like, you know how a bird, when they clip their wings or they somehow do something to them so it limits their movement and ability to fly. That's what I feel like for you with what you're doing right now. It's like, it's okay. You can do it. It's a choice, but it's not allowing you to step into your full potential. There is more there for you, just as the blessing in the beginning encouraged you to reach for more and better because you deserve it. You didn't come here to live a half life. You came here to thrive and to expand. So if this current job isn't serving you, what are your options? Can you get another job? Can you go into another field? Can you do something part-time that feeds your soul? Because for all of us, again, that message comes back to find what feeds your soul. Because when you do that, again, that brings you into energetic alignment. Life gets better. Life gets easier. You will be more connected with your guides, so you don't have to try so hard to get those messages. They will flow to you. You will see the breadcrumbs more liberally being sprinkled. Because there's this thing that happens when you're not in alignment. It's like there are breadcrumbs all around you, but you're only seeing a small portion of them because it's almost like you're wearing blinders. And when you come into alignment, here you are, divine energy flowing through you, clarity, wisdom, knowledge, understanding. It's all being poured into your vessel. And from that space, all of a sudden, all of those extra breadcrumbs you didn't see before suddenly become visible. And you see that there are so many more options out there than you ever realized. So it's an invitation to take off the blinders, step out of tunnel vision, look around and see all of the possibilities that are there for you. And if you don't know which one you want, it's okay. Test it. Take a little dab here and a little dab there. Dip your toe in the water. And then choose the one that feels the absolute best and do that for a while. And if you find that it helps you expand and it feeds your soul, do it some more. If it's not what you thought it was, then don't stay there. Go find something else that delights you. So as we're on this journey, we're always repeating this process because, as I said to Lorraine, what feeds your soul today may not feed your soul next week. That's okay. You're expanding. It's normal. If you were stagnant, you would not be having the wonderful life that your soul intended, right? None of us wants to stagnate. So it's always about taking new action, making new choices. That's what changes our reality and opens up more possibilities. So everybody, use that liberally in your lives. Keep looking for new choices, new action that you can take. You want that energy to be moving because that allows more to come in. So I hope that helps, Thini. Oh, there's more. Okay, you're hesitating to take a job as a head nurse or stay there or do something completely different. So hopefully what I just said to you will address that. Lorraine had to go and glug. Oh, that's funny. Thank you, Lorraine. I'm so glad you were able to join us. And Synthora, you want to ask your guides about your health. Is there anything that they want to tell you? Okay. I'm feeling something around the heart, Synthora, and I don't know if it's physical or emotional, but it's like it's being squeezed and it's uncomfortable. And it's like, it feels kind of like a straitjacket, like it's restraining you and not allowing you to fully express yourself. So what is that about? No, it's not a physical thing. It's an energetic thing, Synthora. There's something energetic going on there around your heart. And is this past life? It's a present life thing. Something you've picked up in this lifetime. because we cleared most of that other stuff that you had going on. This is something new. This is you taking on responsibilities that are not yours, and it's making your heart heavy. Yeah. And feeling squeezed about it because it's a lot of responsibility and it's just not yours to take on. So don't take it. You can throw it off. You can say, no, not going to do it. It doesn't serve me. Are you still here, Cynthia? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, go ahead and tell me.
Yeah, that one's a bit, I think, a bit more emotional. I've been going through some health stuff. I had a biopsy last week, and I'm dealing with some endometriosis and some blocked fallopian tubes. And so I was recommended to go to just a fertility clinic as well, because I wanted to see if there was a chance of me able to have maybe another child at some point. But yeah, so they did do a biopsy. So I think I've been a little under stress. But yeah, the hard thing I think is just, I don't know. I have been feeling in this weird little funk, I guess you could say. It's been weird. It has been weird. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing, because you're here asking about it, it's important. So what it is coming through is that you need to spend some time in the healing meditation and releasing that. So have you done the blue vortex lately?
No. Is it on Facebook? I think you put it there last time. Is it, or is it?
Well, it's on my website, so you can always go grab it there. But that will help you because it will help you to release that tension and discomfort that's in your heart area. It will, the energetic as well as the physical, because you know if you keep the energy there and it keeps squeezing your heart, it will turn into physical. So you definitely want to address it.
Okay.
And there's just that general feeling of heaviness. So the blue vortex can help you to release some of that. Now, of course, the physical stuff you have to deal with, you know, on a third dimensional level, because if it's a third dimensional issue, that's where you deal with it. But the energetic releasing and clearing will also impact some of that physical stuff and perhaps mitigate it, if not clear it. So never hurts to try. And let's just see, you were wanting to know about the child. So let's just see what that comes up with. Is it in your highest and best interest to have another child? That's a maybe. Could go either way, and it really depends on choices that you make along the way. But just know you're perfectly fine if you don't. It's not going to have a negative impact upon you. And if you do, and you can make it work, and again, if it's something that feeds your soul and expands you, then absolutely pursue it. So if you have the will and desire and intention, you can overcome any of those things. You might remember Leah, who was on the call in the past, and you know, she's at an age where she's not supposed to be able to get pregnant, and yet she did because she wanted to, and she worked on it. And
yeah, I was always curious. It's very rude to ask, but I was like, what is the age? Because that's the thing I keep getting now is like, they're like, oh, you're getting to an age where it's, you know, you don't have
that's their belief system, not yours, right? It's between you and your body and God and the soul that would want to come in.
Okay.
So there's always potential there. And as I told Leah at one point, you know, if you physically can't have the child, but there's this soul that you need to connect with that's wanting to come and be mothered by you, then it's perfectly possible that that soul could come into somebody who's in your circle, and you could be an influence on that child. So there's many, many ways to get answers to what we're asking for. And that's why I always say, don't wear those blinders and go with tunnel vision. Be open to the possibility that the answer will look very different than what you think it will. So as long as you're always expanding and going for joy, you're good. And then you get to choose all the other pieces as they come together.
So I've been having a lot of, like I said, issues with the endometriosis, and they're checking for endometriosis cancer and things like that. And I'm just wondering, is there anything that I should at least know about? Because it's been consistent for a while now. And
yeah, what hits me right between the eyes as soon as you said that, it's disempowerment. So the endometriosis is a symptom and has resulted from the state of disempowerment. And as you throw that off and you begin stepping into your power more and more, I expect that that will lessen. Your body is perfectly capable of healing itself of all of those things, but not if you keep assaulting it, right? So if you keep disempowering it, then that disempowerment will manifest in your body in a physical way. And that's what it feels like to me, that the message of the endometriosis is disempowerment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't see any other hands up, so I'm going to keep going through the chat. And Daniel, I still have you there. Tracy, are you still here? Yes, there you are. Let's unmute you. Oops. I think we did it at the same time. Hi.
Hello, Debbra. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I love your purple.
Thank you.
I just see if there was any messages that something I need to hear.
Okay.
Something I need to know.
That's perfect. I'm hearing the Mexican hat dance. So when that comes, that's always about lighten up and have more fun in your life. And it's also stop looking down and start looking up. Because, you know, when we feel overwhelmed by burdens and responsibilities in this life, it's like we're looking down, we're walking with our head down. And meanwhile, our guides are up here dancing around trying to get our attention. Hey, 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 here we are. We got some goodies for you, but you can't see them because, you know, you're looking down. And so, oh, the piñata, right? They're inviting you to come and burst that piñata and see all the goodness that's waiting for you there.
Yeah.
Fun, excitement.
Yeah, more joy and abundance into my life, like looking for that. I am trying to incorporate, looking for the highest and the best good out of.
Yes. And so what I also got just after that, but be careful, Tracy, make sure it's a piñata and not a bee, not a beehive before you hit it.
Yeah.
So that's about using clarity and discernment, right? Don't get fooled by something that looks like a piñata and it's really a beehive and it's going to take you into a whole other world of trouble.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a warning, right?
Yeah.
Go with joy, but a little care too.
Yeah. Because I would have been one that wouldn't have like spent any money on myself, or I wouldn't have, like, I'd have always be looking for the cheapest items, or, you know, I'd never be looking for anything good. Whereas now I'm allowing myself to have something nice. Well, I haven't done it yet, but I'm in the process, you know, with being careful at the same time.
Yeah.
I would have been probably too careful before because we had financial trouble and worries, but I don't need to now be as careful as I used to need to be. But I suppose at the same time, I don't want to bring anything but big burden down on top of myself again. Like,
Yeah.
that's probably,
so choose with care and choose the thing that feels the best. But know that Divine says you are this perfect, magnificent, brilliant, resplendent soul. You are just amazingly, sparklingly beautiful. And your guides and God wants you to know that. They want you to embrace and love yourself because you are that magnificent and you do deserve that from yourself and from everyone.
Yeah.
But you have to give it to you first.
Yeah, I'm just learning that now lately. Like, and you don't have to actually spend money, like, to get you can bring these feelings in without, you know, taking big risks, or, you know,
Well,
there is.
Right? You can give yourself time.
Yeah.
That's huge. And meditation is a great way to do that. Go into meditation and just connect with your higher self and your soul. Have a conversation. What do they want to share with you? What insights have they just been waiting for ego to get out of the way so they could share with you?
Yeah, they have. It's actually delicious when you do allow yourself to do that.
Yes.
You know, life kind of takes you away from, you know, you go looking for other ways of, I don't know, bringing joy in that are never going to be as good as if you just sit. You know, nothing is ever going to be as good as that feeling that you get when you do meditate. Yeah, I just have to remind myself of that.
Well, it can be. That's a limiting belief. There can be delightful things out there just as good as meditating. Absolutely. Yeah. You just haven't found them yet. So go find your piñata and find out what wonderful prizes are waiting inside.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, so Jan. Finally got to you. Hi, can you unmute yourself?
There I am. Okay, I didn't know I had done that myself, so.
So I see you wrote a question down here.
Yes. Yeah, well, I've discovered in my years, I was raised by a narcissistic parent, so I have been raised to be a people pleaser. And I have noticed that a lot of my relationships, friendships, and lovers and husbands and things like that have always been codependent, where I've given and given and given, and drained myself to the point of getting sick from relationships, and very one-sided relationships. And I've learned about that, and I've done work on myself to recognize it and to stop it. And it's also doubly hard because now I'm an alternative high school teacher, where that's, I feel, is my light work and my life work. And those are all those relationships too, where these kids really need someone to grab onto, and they're searching for that codependency and a life raft also. So learning my boundaries and things like that, where to give and where to stop giving, that kind of thing. But I've discovered, I've been doing a master's degree, and I just finished and got my full licensing, and just yesterday it all finished, and I'm realizing how alone I am. I've never lived alone in my life. I've always been with somebody, had my kids with me, and now I'm in a house all by myself by choice, because I've been learning to not have those codependent relationships. But I'm terrified to get back into them, get back into friendships and things like that. I don't know where to start because I've been bit so many times. Mm-hmm. It's terrifying me, and I don't know what to do. You know, I'm kind of lonely at times. I'd like to go out and do things with friends, but I look around and I don't really have those friendships anymore because I can't trust anybody. And there's been some people that's reached out, but I also think, well, are they kind of narcissistic? Are they looking for that minion to help, you know, bolster them and just take from me because they see that in me, because I've, you know, had those relationships my whole life. They seek me out, you know, and they recognize me and they come at me. And so I don't trust when someone wants to be my friend. It's like, well, what do you want from me? You know, I've lost my trust of people, I guess, is the main thing.
It's like you have a neon flashing sign, victim.
Oh, hell yeah. That's it. That's it. Yeah. And I will give you all the energy. You know, I have that energy flowing through me, and I give it, and they come after me, you know, so yeah.
Well, the thing is, as a light worker, this is important for you to know. When you are doing healing with people, you are channeling divine energy through you to them. You're not ever giving them your energy. That will deplete you, right? Never. You have to give your energy. None of us do, because all souls have the ability to get as much energy as they need from divine. So when you do it that way and it's divine through you to them, you're actually getting healing and love and uplifting as it passes through you. So it's like you're getting a double dose, which is lovely.
Yes.
So you always want to do that. And it's kind of like that with relationships. You're not giving them your energy.
Right.
Right? So for you, it's going to be a day-by-day, step-by-step process of learning to set boundaries. Do not give to a place that doesn't feel good. You want to tune into your solar plexus. Don't use your thoughts to make decisions. Use your solar plexus. What feels the best? That will be your best choice. And you're going to make a lot of mistakes because this is going to be learning for you, you know, rebuilding all those old habits and understandings of how you're even supposed to show up in a relationship.
Yeah.
So don't give anything until you're ready to. And then only give tiny amounts and test them. Do they start sucking you dry? If they do, then goodbye, right? But you set the boundaries. Now, there is this technique called zip up that I think would benefit you greatly. If you send me an email and remind me, and I'll send you the link for it, there's a YouTube video that will teach you how to do it. And it's like an energetic force field. So it's like you bend over, you grab your force field, and you zip it up around you. And now you're out there in the world, and you've got this energy barrier between you and other people. It will help you greatly until you develop the ability to do it for yourself. So just know it's a process, but it's an exciting new journey that you're starting. So if you can look at it from that aspect of joy, because you are now going to start making healthy relationships where they give back. Now, just know that a lot of people won't give back if you don't ask. If you go and just pour things on them, they're going to take. You need to tell them, right? Tell them what you need. Don't expect them to read your mind.
Yes. I have a hard time asking, very hard time asking for help.
Yes.
Even when people offer it, immediately my reaction is, that's okay, I got it.
Okay.
You know,
I know that. You know what that's about. That's self-esteem. So let me tell you this. If you came to me and you offered to help me or give me something, and I said to you, oh no, I'm okay. How do you feel when I do that?
Like I'm not worthy. Like you didn't want my attention anyway. You didn't want my,
So when somebody offers you something, that's what you're doing to them. You're rejecting them.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
They're offering you something out of love and giving. So as long as it's something that you'd like to have, why not accept it?
Yeah.
And know when you do that, you're blessing them and you're blessing yourself. That's
so so I just have to change my focus from, oh, quit taking from me, to gratitude.
Yes. And when somebody offers you a compliment, no self-deprecating comments. Thank you. Your response is thank you. Accept it.
I have been working on that a little bit. I've caught myself, many times, and that's something new. But I guess I need to really change my focus to that.
Yes. Those are tiny little things that you can change. They're easy to change. Just be conscious of them. And if you catch yourself saying no, thank you, stop and say, oh, you know what? That is really kind of you, and I would love to.
Yeah.
In the moment, change it. That's advocating for you. And the more you do that, the better you'll start feeling about Jan, right? And the less of a victim you will be.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to get out there. I would recommend maybe find some meetup groups or something like that where people are going and having fun. Go in a hiking group. That's a great way to get out and meet fun people. They're not sucking up each other's energy. They're out there enjoying nature.
Yeah.
So look for groups that you can get involved in. Be open to making new friends, but don't dive in 2 feet, right? You don't know if they're going to be friend material until you spend a little time with them.
Yes.
So boundaries and discernment will serve you well.
Yeah, it's true.
You don't have to isolate yourself. You are not doomed to codependency. You are now setting your intention to be different, to be fully Jan, who is not anybody's victim.
Right.
You are a divine soul, and you are perfect, beautiful, magnificent, and resplendent. God sees that. So God doesn't make mistakes. That's really, truly who you are. And when you can embody that and accept it, life will shift, your energy will shift, and you will stop attracting those narcissists because they're not going to want anything to do with you. They're going to say, oh boy, I'm not going to get anywhere with her. I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Adelina, I see you raised your hand. Go ahead. You can unmute yourself. There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
I'm on the street, so I hope it's not too noisy. I'll go into this little garden. I hope the neighbors don't mind.
That's okay.
So I was going to ask a question about something that I want, or something that I'm imagining this wealthy and abundant life, and I have feelings of guilt around it. But actually, as I've been listening to the other people talking, I think at the moment, the more pressing thought is around my parents, and my dad, and relating to what the previous lady was talking about. So my dad has very strong narcissistic tendencies, and my mother is very sensitive and an empath. Somehow they made it work, and somehow I managed to get away from them. I love them both, but I can't live with them. The problem is that, so my father's mother, my grandmother, she has dementia, my parents. And I think the biggest pain in my mom's life has been living with her, because my parents lived with my grandmother, and now my parents have a new home and they live alone, but my grandmother has to move in with them. And I feel my mother's pain, and it's really upsetting me. And I think the most pressing question for me right now is whether I should get involved in some way, or if I should just let it run its course and not really know what to do, affecting me. So just curious if my guys have any guidance around that.
Okay. Well, a big no on getting involved, and you already know that because you ran away from it for a reason, right? It doesn't feel good. They will suck you right in if you let them. But here's the other thing, Adelina. You can be involved from the perspective of helping them to find resources. That you could do that so that you don't feel like you're not helping, but don't emotionally get drug in, right? Does that make sense?
What do you mean by resources?
Well, like if they don't want her to live with them, for instance, maybe you could help them find places she could go, because it sounds like bringing her to their home is not going to be good for them either. But on the other hand, if engaging with them, even in that small amount, will drag you in, then don't do it. It's always about doing what's best for Adelina. And that's like a whirlpool that just will suck you in. You know that.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing. Everybody is responsible for their own soul journey. You are not responsible for them just because you're part of their family, right? You are not. Let it go. No guilt. Guilt serves no one. It's a waste of time. Your guides are like, oh, come on, let's get rid of all this crappy. No, it's just in the way and it's blocking your joy. So let it go. You can't change any of it that caused it. So why carry the baggage around? It's like you are willingly choosing to carry around this 100-pound sack of guilt. And why would you do that? Let it go. Not yours.
Okay.
Does that help?
That helps. I feel like it's hard to let it go because I'm abandoning, especially my mother, who suffers a lot in this situation. But I think on one level, I know that I need to not get involved, but on the other level, I feel like I should be there to support her.
Well, you can be there to support her if she makes new choices that takes her out of that bad situation. But why would you enable her to stay there, right? Your mother is a free spirit. She can make choices to take herself out if she wants to. She's not choosing that. So don't feel guilt or obligation. You know, a great example of this is I was asking my guides, why would anybody choose to incarnate as a Native American? They know their life is going to be hard. They know it's going to be hell. Why would you choose that? If you get to choose your parents, why choose that? And they corrected me very quickly. That is disempowering this other soul's choice. They had reasons. Probably they had karma to work out. They had a specific mission they were looking towards doing, and it was in that environment that they'd be able to do it. So who are you to say that that's a bad choice? That disempowers them. So just honor your mother's choices. Allow her to make her choices, but don't get dragged into them. You're making your own choices that are good for Adelina.
Thank you. That's very helpful. That little story is very helpful.
I'm glad. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, so I think that's the end. So we're coming back around to you, Daniel. Can you unmute? There you go.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I hear you. Great.
Well, I first want to say I very much enjoyed just listening and experiencing all the stories and all the beauty. I mean, just wonderful beauty from so many people, and hearing them from so many different places in the world, and seeing how easy we can feel disconnected, but yet we are so quickly connected. And yeah, it's a weird dichotomy that we live in, this non-duality. But I would just had this feeling that I was supposed to stick around. I don't know if it was something to do with the Akashic records, or for some reason, somebody was saying, hey, pay attention, just sit and play guitar and, practice scales, but keep an ear, so I don't know if there's anything, that I'm supposed to, to hear, or, be it from somebody else, or if it's one of my guides, or, on those lines. So, and mostly I just wanted to say thank you. It's been a very wonderful way to spend a Saturday afternoon.
I'm glad. So let's just see if your guides have anything additional they want to share with you. I'm getting the hokey pokey for you, Daniel.
It's funny because I was singing it 2 nights ago.
So yeah. That's an invitation to embrace your child, your inner child, and play more, have more joy and playfulness. Because when you do that, it shifts your energy. Absolutely. And it puts you in a place where you have more clarity and you can hear and see the messages.
Yeah.
And that hokey pokey is what it's all about, right?
Put your left foot in, you put your left foot out.
Yeah, simple. We make it complicated.
Yeah, you do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Well, Dankia, much appreciation towards you.
You are so welcome. So, Dana, did you have a question? You've been sitting there patiently.
Actually, okay, so I know that my Saturn return is coming in the next year or so, and I have Saturn retrograde in my chart natally along with my other outer planets, and I feel like I've been feeling it a lot more since last year. Like I feel like I've been thrown into a lot of inner healing work since last year, and it has been a ride. I definitely appreciate it. But it's been a ride, and I feel like there is still a lot more, well, not feel, but I know that I still have a lot more healing to do. But I'm in a transitional period, and I don't want to say that I'm lost, because like I know where I want my life to go. I know what I want to do, where I want to get to. It just feels like the harder I try to like get there, or like take the steps necessary to get there, the more I'm being pulled back, or like there's something that always comes up in my life that needs to be fixed or corrected, or things that were done, I guess from like my mom or my parent, is something I have to correct, even though it was something she did. It was like right now I'm dealing with identity theft and stuff, but it's because of her. So I feel like there's always constantly something that's pulling me back from being able to finally get to what I want to do in my life and like my path that I'm supposed to be on. So I don't know if that's because I still have more healing work to do before I can fully like step in and like embrace my soul mission, or I don't know if it's like a karmic thing like that still needs to be resolved. I don't want to say lost, but I guess I'm just staying right now. Like I'm stuck. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. It feels like overwhelm because there's just, you're in that transitional stage, your energy is shifting, you're expanding your vision and understanding of who you are. At the same time, these outside influences are coming in that are disrupting, right?
Yeah.
So you get to choose how you allow it to disrupt, or if you allow it to disrupt. So yeah, you can help your mom with those identity theft things, but you can do it in a way that doesn't negatively impact you.
Yeah, well, it's not hers, it's mine, but it's because
Okay.
of the stuff she's done or put my name. I mean, she and I don't communicate right now. Our relationship is not good. But I actually like stay here with my aunt now. I had to move here in Georgia. But I want to move to the West Coast between Cali and Oregon, but I just feel like every single time I make the steps to try to get a job, like right now I don't have employment and I'm trying so hard to get on my feet. Like I feel like I'm behind. I think that's what it is. I just feel like I'm behind.
Yeah, there's a feeling of rushing and forcing, and you never want to do that. Because here's the thing, it's a journey. The destination is death.
Yeah.
So here you are in your little boat in the ocean, and you're floating along, and you're starting to panic because you don't see land.
Right.
Land is there. Your guides are taking you there. You'll get there when you're supposed to get there. Meanwhile, Dana, enjoy the journey. The sun is shining. You got food and water. It's peaceful and delightful, and you're missing all of that because you're so focused on getting to the next place. So this for you is about being in the moment, being present, and enjoying the journey. Because you know what'll happen? You'll snap your fingers and you'll have lost a decade.
Sure.
And you won't know what happened. So focus on being present and finding the joy, minimizing the things that aggravate you, like that whole identity thing. Get it done, get past it. Don't let it derail you.
Okay.
And don't try to force things, because when we force things, they break.
Yeah.
Or, you know, they get damaged in some way. We want it to flow. It's just like Abraham talks about, you float downstream. There's no resistance. We don't want resistance. So when you pick your head up and you feel and you see the resistance, look for the source and find a way to get out of that resistance. Get back into the flow. Because, you know, if you're floating downstream in your little inner tube and you hit a rock, what are you going to do? You're not going to sit there and wail and say, woe is me, I'm stuck on a rock. You're going to get yourself around the rock and keep going. And life is just like that. So when you hit that metaphorical rock in your life, you just find a way around, over, under, whatever it takes, but don't let it stop you. And just ask your guides for help. They'll pick you up and lift you right over it if they need to.
Yeah, I feel like I've been doing that, but I'm having a tough time. Maybe I just need to meditate more. I was doing it at first, and then.
Well, meditation always.
But I have a book, and I do write my book, so.
That's good. Yeah, just focus on being more present and taking things one step at a time. You're trying to take too big of a bite, and you're getting overwhelmed. So break it down to smaller steps.
Okay.
That'll help a lot. And the meditation will help to keep you centered and at peace, so that when you come out, you'll have more clarity about what's important. Let's deal with what's important. And if you have trouble deciding what's important, what I do is I look at it and say, well, if I died next week, what would have been important in this, you know, week's time? That will help you figure out your priorities in a real hurry.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So Lydia, are you there? Do you have a question? I can't tell because I just see your picture and you look frozen. So I don't know if you're there or not. If you have a question, you can type in the chat or unmute yourself. Anybody else here? There's somebody who's got a phone number of 707. Did you have a question? I want to be sure we get everybody. There's an iPad that's 178.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi, who is this?
This is Christina. I'm on the phone.
Hi, Christina.
So, yeah, I have a question. I've been experiencing a lot of anxiety, and I just kind of really feel lost in life. And I'm not sure how to change these patterns and really find peace and self-love.
How long has it been going on?
I've actually have had like really a bad like anxiety disorder since I was a child. but in the last few months, it's been worse.
Mhm.
So
And is it about anything in specifically, or is it just in general?
it's just pretty much in general.
So what I see for you, Christina, is it's like you're standing on shifting sand. You can never get firm footing. It's always you're having to shuffle around just to stand upright. So that would cause a lot of anxiety, right? So it's like you don't have a
Yeah.
foundation. Your foundation needs to be built. That's what's missing.
Mhm.
So what is it that you do?
Well, lately I haven't been working, but I'm a certified hypnotherapist and I'm a Reiki master, and I've also done like a lot of personal care work with elderly people and things like that. So,
What
but
lights?
I just haven't been in a place where I've been like really able to work lately because of my anxiety.
Mhm. So if money and health were not issues, what would you do with yourself? What would bring you joy?
Really like working with people and also my art.
Okay, tell me about your art.
I love like all forms of art, especially abstract. So,
So what you're searching for, Christina, are the bricks for your foundation. So you need to find
mhm.
small things that make you feel joyful, peaceful, that bring that calmness, whatever it is that takes you out of that anxiety, even if it's just for a
Okay.
breath, right? It's baby steps.
Mhm.
What can you do for yourself, because this is self-care now, that will give you
Mhm.
relief for even as long as a breath, hopefully longer, but whatever.
Mhm.
Start doing that. Give that gift to yourself. Do more and more of
Okay.
that until you reprogram yourself to expect life to feel better and to not feel like you're being crushed under this boulder, so that you can breathe and the sun can shine on you and nourish your soul, because you're just, it's like you're in a straitjacket and you don't think
Mhm.
about choices and you're spinning round and round and just getting dizzy and not being able to get clarity. So it's finding the
Yeah.
things, even if it's walking out and picking a flower and smelling it, right? Whatever
Yeah.
little things
Okay.
you can do to bring yourself that feeling, because you're trying to build muscle memory for your body and for your senses of what brings you to that
Mhm.
place of calm and peace. Give
Mhm.
yourself that gift. Start doing that.
Okay.
And
All
see
right.
what
Thank
it does
you.
for you. It's going to take a while. It won't happen overnight. Now, I can tell you that in homeopathy, there are some remedies that can help with that anxiety. I've given them to a number of people who have gotten relief. So
Okay.
not that you want to take a pill for everything. I'm not recommending that. But if it
Mhm.
helps you in the short term to get over the hump so that you can start expanding
Mhm.
joy and productivity in your life, then it's great. So that might be something
Mhm.
to look into. But I
Okay.
want you to know there are lots of options. I know you're not seeing them now, but they are there. So just start reaching for little things that feel better. Give yourself that gift,
Okay.
step at a
All
time.
right.
Keep me posted on how
Thank you.
you do, okay?
Okay, I will.
Thanks for being here. Anybody else? We're at the top of the 2-hour mark, so I think we can conclude now unless anybody has something they'd like to add.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
You can hear me?
I hear you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is the first time I've done a Zoom thing, so I wasn't sure what I was doing.
You're doing great.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for this service. I can tell you help a lot of people with your words. But I was just wondering if you have a message for me.
Okay, what's your name?
Julie.
Julie, okay. Do you know that song, Sunshine, Lollipops, and Rainbows? You know that song?
No.
You ever heard that? Go Google it. You'll find it on YouTube. That I hear that song as soon as I ask about Julie. So that's about lightness and joy and being that child, skipping and just getting out there. And it's really letting the sun shine on you and fill you and warm you. And that is truly love and light from divine. You're feeling a little empty. It's like your tanks are empty and you need to be refilled. So you can do that with meditation. On my website, there's one called Well-Being. Get that one. It's a well-being attunement. It's like taking a mini vacation and you'll just feel wonderful. And if it makes you sleep because you needed it. But when you do it, sit up so that you maybe won't go to sleep and just enjoy the heck out of it. When you get to the end of it, you're going to be in this really relaxed, open state. At that point, stay there. When the recording stops, just stay there. And then ask your guides, can you come to me? Do you have anything to share with me? And you may just get a feeling. You may hear something. You may see something. Whatever you get, accept it with gratitude. Thank them and go on with your day. And know that you can repeat that process. And as you do more and more of it, you will start getting more when you connect with your guides. And then, believe it or not, the day will come when you'll be just doing your normal daily duties and all of a sudden they'll pop in with something and you'll get it because you will be aware of it, you will be asking up for it, and you'll be conscious of it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So they're reaching out to you. They want to connect with you.
I think they do connect, but I think what you're telling me with the sunshine is live life. I've had a lot of death.
Yeah. And death is just the soul moving to another place. They're not gone. The soul is still living and they'll come back in another body. So death is actually an opportunity to celebrate that the soul has completed another journey and it's moving on to something. They'll have their celebration. They'll decide when, if they want to come back again. And they're only a thought away. That's the really cool thing. You can connect with them when you do that meditation. And if death is an issue for you, then there's a grief relief meditation that you should get because it will allow you to connect with your deceased loved one. They will come to you and you can talk to them. You can touch them. You can spend time with them. That will help you to heal if that's an issue for you. So death is just an opportunity to celebrate, right? The only difficult thing about death is that we miss them so much, but we don't have to miss them if we can connect with them anytime we want. And we can. Right. They're always just a thought away. We had this amazing dog. He was a border collie mix. We had him for 14 years and just adored him. And when we finally had to put him down, we were all devastated and crying for days. And at night, he would come and he would sit beside my bed and I could reach out and put my hand on his head. And it was so comforting. And it can be like that for us with the ones we've lost that we love. So let them do that. Let them come and comfort you. Even if you think you're making it up because your ego is going to tell you, oh, making that up. They're not really there. Ignore your ego. It's wrong. They really are there. Because when you think of them and you call them, they are there to bring you comfort.
Right.
Take that comfort, but don't get stuck there, right? Because you got to be living. So take the comfort that they offer you and then move on with your day and find that joy. Get out there. Find your lollipops and your sunshine.
Right. Get out in the sunshine. Right.
Yeah. Live.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you. Yes, we grieve for ourselves a lot.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everybody. I don't see any more hands. No more messages. Oh, you're so welcome, Mike. You're welcome, Jan, Adelina. It was just a delight. I'm just so glad all of you showed up and give everyone the opportunity to share because there's so much love and healing that comes through in these sessions. And without you, it wouldn't be the same. So delighted. There's another message popping up here. Oh, thank you, Dan. Yeah, you're welcome, Daniel. I'm so glad you were here and that you went through all the trouble to get here. So keep me posted on how things go with Natasha. I'll be sending you good, positive, loving energy. All right, we'll be back here again next month. When I get the date scheduled, I'll send out a notice to let you know. And I hope to see you all again. Invite your friends. We got room for more. Have a fabulous weekend. Bye.